Hello there horse racing fans, welcome back to the channel and my first Aintree Grand National preview of the year. I'm going to get in there early with one selection. I had a recent Cheltenham Festival video which has gone down well, so I thought I'd continue the trend and get another Ante-post video in ahead of the Grand National. Now it's going to be a horse that ran in this race last year and at the minute is double the price, and considering he ran well in the race, that is a little bit of a surprise. It's going to be Cocoa Beach, who I tipped up on Twitter a few weeks ago at 100 to 1. Most firms have shortened. Unibet are still at 100 to 1, where other firms are at 50 to 1. So he is a little bit overpriced on Unibet, and that would be a decent bet for me. Cocoa Beach at 100 to 1, because as I said, he ran in this race last year and he kind of made all, and he was there until 2 to jump, where he just kind of weakened and just got tired, and he was beaten about 80 lengths at the end of the day, which is quite far back. But he was one of, I think there was about 15 finishers that day. 25 didn't make it round. The ground was quick enough where the jumping was put to the test, and he made all in that race. He probably went way too fast out in front, but he jumped so well. John O'Neill Jr. rode him for the first time that day, and for a jockey to get on a horse and jump like that, that is very impressive. That was off a mark of 150, and I think the Grand National was a little bit of an afterthought that year, just because he did have quite a few runs. He was pulled up and he had quite a busy campaign, probably to get his handicap mark down enough to run in this race. And I think this year he ran well in the race when the English handicapper gave him a mark of 150. The trends say he's now an 80-year-old. This is the perfect time for him to run in the race. He was too young last year. I think he would have matured physically from 7 to 8, and I think he's been campaigned specifically for that race in mind this year. He's had 3 starts this year. He came back over Limerick and was given a patient ride out the back. In his first 2 rides he had very inexperienced jockeys who just gave him quiet enough rides out the back. He was 9th at Limerick, then he was 4th at Navan, and again he was held up out the back, and he just was never, those tactics don't suit the horse at all. He was held up out the back, ran on past beaten horses, finished 4th, again didn't shoot his handicap mark at all, and then he ran again just a week ago in the Thyestes and he bounced out in front, made all, was beaten about 5.5 lengths at the end of the day. That was a very good run, and the front running tactics definitely do suit this horse. Whether he's going to stay the Grand National trip, that probably is the one question mark, because he did get headed and he didn't tire in the Thyestes over 3 mile 1 furlong, but he just couldn't quicken slightly at the end of that race, which some of the other horses do, the likes of Carefully Selected, who was the class horse in it for Willie Mullins and the winner. So that was off a mark of 145. You'd think he'd probably stay on the same mark or maybe drop a pound again for that. The English handicapper will add his tax, which will probably make it close enough to a 150, but he will be a pound or 2 lower than he was for the Grand National last year, and I think he's better equipped to run well in it. And you never know with the Gordon Elliott horses, he might have a jockey who has rode him before, which can only help the horse, or John O'Neill Jr. can get back on board, which worked well. But it's 100 to 1, and if you look at some of the other horses shorter in the betting, it's even doubtful if they're going to turn up or they have other primary goals. This horse is being campaigned to run well in the Grand National. It's been a long-term plan, probably from when he ran well in it last season, so I think a full season of campaigning, maybe one more run just to get him primed without, maybe after the weights come out for the handicap. Gordon Elliott knows what he's doing. He's going to be primed for this, and the chances are the English Grand National will be run on softer ground than it was last year, which will always suit him. He's got much better form on softer ground. So at 100 to 1, considering he ran well in it last year where the ground was too fast and his handicap mark was a little bit too high, if conditions are right for him this time round, he would have every chance of running well. And even if you get a horse that completes the Grand National circuit, they're probably not going to be a million miles off placing, so it's definitely worth a little risk at 100 to 1. Not too big of a bet, but Cocoa Beach for the Grand National, 100 to 1 shot, and is well worth a few pounds each way. That's all from me. If you do like these Ante-post videos, make sure to like and subscribe. There'll be plenty more stuff mainly Cheltenham based videos coming over the next couple of weeks. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.